That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time to get on your feet because it's time for the three-peat. Let's get things started tonight. Start with our ladies first, of course. Nat, what is up? Welcome into the building.
What's going on? Just it's hard being a Celtics fan. We had to wait for everyone to get their playoff seeding because they waited until game 82. It's ridiculous. We still have to wait because now they're waiting for the play-in. It's unfortunate.
Feels good to be on top for once. We'll see how long that lasts. All right, we got to go to our man. I know he's jonesing for it, so I got to bring my man Jones in the house. Welcome into the building, my friend.
What's up, y'all? How we doing? We feeling good out here in New York, baby. We feeling good.
Feeling good. Finish good. That's for dang sure. We'll see what that playoff setup will look like. Of course, we'll talk about that in a minute. Welcome in with his Laker apparel. Hey, they made it. Travis Reed, welcome into the building, my friend.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Glad to see the Lakers made it. So we know, get your shot glasses ready because you're going to hear the Lakers a few times tonight. That's for sure. All right, well, let's get things started. If you're watching us on YouTube, do us a quick solid. Hit this follow, subscribe, like, comment, do all those cool things. There are little things stopping you from doing it. Big things popping for us when you do. So we do appreciate you. I got a man in the wing ready to come in. Let's bring in Brian to talk about playoff injuries. Brian, boy, you looking, that must have been in your younger years. Looking dapper right there in that jersey. Welcome in, man.
I still clean up pretty good. A little credit there.
Well, I couldn't tell tonight with that gray shirt. My bad. Well, welcome in, bro. I do appreciate you coming in tonight. NBA playoffs are in the air. What do you got on the injury report tonight?
Yeah, so, my Knicks, did they lock up the 3 seed? Am I hearing that right?
2, baby, 2.
Oh, even better. How about that? So listen, now you'd want to talk about peaking at the right time and then getting guys back from injury. That's the Knicks, baby. They're going into the playoffs looking really good. They got Mitchell Robinson back. OG, what's going on with OG? He was dealing with some elbow issue a few weeks ago. I think he's going to be available. Did they designate him, though, on IR or something? You guys can help me out there.
He's back.
Nice. So the Knicks are prime, man. They're in prime spot right here. They got everybody back. Everybody's healthy. Looking good. But now you got guys like on the Lakers. Sorry, Travis. I know you got your sporting your Laker gear there. But Anthony Davis dealing with some back spasms and some hip spasms, apparently. I think he's going to be available for that playing game. It's do or die. He's getting up there in age, let's be honest. Back spasms are going to happen, especially the big man position. Those guys are not usually the most flexible. So that's not a surprise. Heading into some other teams, one of the guys that's been talked about a lot throughout the season because he's been dealing with injuries all year has been Tyler Hero. I think, didn't he break his wrist earlier in the year or something like that? Then he had a foot injury that he's been dealing with, and he was practicing a couple weeks ago, but then they're saying there was no real timetable for his return. So I'm not sure if he's going to be available. And if he is, he might be on a limited basis, maybe coming off the bench. And then, the big names obviously are going to be Joel Embiid and Giannis. Giannis with this scary injury everybody started freaking out about. I watched the play. He was literally just inbounding the ball and tweaked his calf, apparently, which shouldn't be a huge deal. But I just don't think, they're going to risk any further injury a la Kevin Durant a few years ago when he ruptured his Achilles. So I think they're just going to play it safe heading into round 1. He's more than likely not going to be available for at least game 1. Questionable whether he's going to suit up for the other 2 games after that. But I think depends on how things kind of develop in the beginning of that series, whether or not he's going to be back before game 3. So we'll have to kind of see how that plays out. And then, of course, Embiid, coming off knee surgery, I think it was back in February, was, predicted to be about 4 to 6 weeks back. It took a little longer. I thought it would. He was doing some workouts and stuff a couple weeks ago, but not really cleared yet for full go. But they're saying now that they're optimistic that he should be available for the playoffs. He's been seen working out in the gym. I don't know if he's actually gotten any full scrimmage or practice time in, but they're saying he should be ready to go. He's had ample time to recover, so we'll have to see.
Well, Brian, we appreciate that. I just want to let you know something. When you were talking just a minute ago and you mentioned how, let's just say, unlimbered the big men were, I noticed Travis adjusted his camera a little just to be like, what'd you say, bro?
Yeah, we athletes, man. We athletes.
Travis knows I'm poking fun. Him and I go back. We talked about injuries quite a bit in one of my podcast episodes. So if you want to hear about his story, you should check that out because you'd be surprised about what these guys go through.
Well, that's a great segue, Brian. Where can we follow, subscribe, get your great content?
Yeah, so you can check me out on theinjuredlist.com, my website, where you can find my episode with Travis, and on social media at Injured List Pod on Twitter and Instagram, Injured List Podcast on Facebook as well. So check it out. I got a bunch of stuff coming up. Big news for the NFL draft. We got a big event coming up live here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So if anyone's local to that, definitely going to want to check that out. I've got it all posted all over my social media.
Big things popping for That Sports Podcast Network. Brian, we appreciate you. Go follow, subscribe, and get all his great content. All right, we're going to send you off. We're going to talk about some MVPs. We appreciate you, bro.
Thanks.
So playoffs are in the air, as I said. So we'll just go through this one a little quickly. And basically, let's skip MVP of last week because people were on and off and, it was just a little crazy. So we can forget about that. Let's just talk about MVP of the regular season. Let's take Jokic out of the mix because it's just kind of a waste of time for anyone to bring that up. So now I'm going to go to you. Who do you think right now, other than Jokic, could you name MVP? Give me the case for it.
Oh, it's Shea, without a doubt to me. His team was the 10th seed last year, and they're the 1 seed this year in a perceived tougher conference. You kind of got to look at that team, and there's a bunch of kids on there if you really think about it. When we say kids, it's young guys, not a lot of experience. The second-year players that they're depending on. There's rookies that they're depending on. I think Shea, and I know Gordon Hayward, I think, is the most tenured, but Shea is the leader, and Gordon barely plays. He's not a big part of their team. So you kind of got to look at that. They're very thin in the paint, at the 5 position. They have Chet, and it kind of teeters off after that, So if he goes down, Jesus, I don't know what they would look like, but what they've been able to do all season and pretty consistently, you got to say Shea, people are going to say Joker. It's the easy, thing to say, and he has the stats for it and everything, but just what OKC has done, and they've kind of just flipped it complete 180. So my vote is without a doubt Shea.
Apologize for not getting the right credit to who it was, but I did hear a podcast earlier today, and he mentioned the personality mentioned that never before in the league have they just given the MVP to the best player, is what he said. And normally, why doesn't Jordan and LeBron have more than what they have? They usually earn it, so why give it away to Jokic? That's kind of what we're doing here on this segment. But we know Jokic obviously is the best player in the league. So no disrespect, obviously. Jones, let's go to you on this one. What do you say, my friend? Give me your MVP. Why?
I agree with that. I'm going with Shea, even if you include Joker. He would be my pick regardless, because what he's been able to do with that young team, like she said, actually it's the first youngest team. It's the youngest team in NBA history to have a number 1 seed, which I just saw that stat today, which is very impressive. They're ahead of schedule. Nobody, like she said, they were in 10th seed last year. So to jump all the way up to first is very impressive. Shea has the most casual 30 that you'll ever see, and it's an easy bucket. He's gonna get 30 without even asking. You don't need to see how he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. Like that's just how impressive he's been able to be a great leader for that young team, especially a young team. That's hard to do. Like when you got vets, you got a lot more guys to be able to hone those guys in. But to have a bunch of first year and second year guys to be able to all have that one common goal and to be able to get the first seed, that's very impressive. So I got to give it to Shai.
Outpaced, outclassed. Thanks for your comment. Obviously, a Pacers fan. He says Tyrese Halliburton. He thinks is his MVP. That's his vote anyway. All right, Travis. Other than somebody from the Lakers, no. Give me MVP. Give me somebody make the case for it.
Well, no, I wouldn't. Say anybody, for MVP. I would just Anthony Davis for Defensive Player of the Year. That would be my vote. So, but no, I would say Luka. Luka average. You said Shai Gilgeous getting 30. Luka's averaging 33. And 9 rebounds and 9 assists. And he got his Dallas to the 5th seed, and he's done something that only LeBron has done. He's calmed down Kyrie to just play ball and not the other stuff. So I think that, people are kind of sleeping on Luka because what he's doing is like become the norm because he's been doing it for since he came into the league. But man, you know how hard it is to average 9 assists and 30-something points? I mean, it's a reason why only a few people have done it. So I still think that Joker's going to win it because he is the best player. And no matter what, how OKC kind of stuck in the back door to be the 1 seed, it's Joker all day. And I want to say something to that, the perceived West is better. It's not even close.
little smack. All right, we're gonna get into that right now. Actually, let's get right into it. Let's get to these playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me?
Playoffs. All right, let's get into it. Let's bring up the playoff brackets as they stand right now. Obviously, this is locked in. My bad. Celtics, number 1 seed, OKC on the west side, number 1. Knicks coming in at number 2. I thought it was funny. A little shout out to Brian, who's supposed to be this big Knicks fan. Didn't even freaking know what seed there was at. I don't even come on and talk about the Knicks no more, bro. I don't even want to hear it. Nuggets at number 2 in the West. I mean, not a huge. I don't think it really matters, honestly. I think both those teams are good. I don't think really home court's gonna matter. I could be wrong about that but way OKC played. But I think matchup wise, 7-game series. Who cares? All right, let's go to the 3 and the 6 in the East. We got the Pacers and the Bucks in that one. 4th and 5th, the Cavs versus the Magic. And then on the other side, you got talking about your boy from the Mavs. I can't think of his name right now. Killing me right now. Number 5, Mavericks versus the Clippers, and 3 Timberwolves versus 6 Suns. So start things off there. So just as the overall bracket is concerned, any big surprises? Because that was one of the things we would talk about each week. Which team's going to move up or down. Jones, I'll go to you first on this one. What's your biggest surprise here as the playoff seedings take hold?
My biggest surprise, I'll give you one for each. I'll start with the East, the Knicks being that too. I'm very shocked that we got this high. Very impressed by it. We deserved it. We earned it. But beginning of the season, I think I had us top 4th in the East. So I'm very impressed with that. And then I think most people are very shocked that OKC is number 1. That's why Shai's my MVP, because that's just very impressive to get that high. I thought they'd be in the play-in or something. For him to be at 1 is ridiculous.
To go from barely 500 last year to numero 1 in the West, pretty impressive to say the least. Travis, what do you say, my friend? Biggest surprise here?
I thought a surprise to honestly be Orlando Magic. I mean, people talk about OKC, how young they are. Orlando Magic is just as young. You know, they might have a couple guys that have been in the league for 5 or 6 years, but they're led by, you know, Pablo Machado, who's a second-year player, you know, in the East. And I think that, you know, I guess also my biggest surprise, you know, on the West would be that Golden State ended as a 10th seed, you know, playing in the play-in, you know. And Sacramento being a 9 seed, I thought Sacramento was going to be what OKC is. I thought they was going to win. You remember they was a 2 seed last year, I think.
Right.
Yeah, and they lost to Golden State, but like I thought they was going to continue, but they went backwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the two things that you know, that the two biggest surprises for me in the playoffs.
Yeah, and Nat, what do you think?
I'm not shocked at the Golden State drop off or the Kings drop off. The Kings, you know, should have made a trade for a dominant wing, and when I saw that they didn't, you could just see the writing on the wall. Golden State just, you know, they've made bad decisions. Chris Paul over there for absolutely nothing, you know, and letting go of their young talent. So these teams kind of deserve what they're getting right now. Not shocked in the Magic. You know, the Magic actually have been a consistent team trying to get to the playoffs, even going back to Vucevic days, you know, where they would find themselves in there. So I'm going to say I'm shocked at how bad the Milwaukee Bucks are. And they're just atrocious, honestly. They're atrocious to watch. This is one of those years you cannot blame Doc Rivers. They went from bottom of the league in defense to at least mid-level defense. I think they're number 15 or 16 right now. I think that they were like number 28 or 27 before he got there. So he's made an improvement there. The issues that they are having, I just think people are just not trying. You know, trading the wrong people, and there's not a lot of effort. Older guys, they just don't have it all together, and it's a shame, you know. And Giannis is not going to be able to carry them. But how bad they're playing, I did not expect that, honestly. Knicks, not really shocked that they are a 2 seed per se. I'm getting at least like a 3 seed. So Brunson on his hair, good for him. You know, that's awesome. When you look at the West, I could say OKC in one. I did not see that. I thought that they would make a huge improvement this year. I didn't mean you know, like mega like that, but I thought that they would be like a 4th seed, you know, maybe 3 seed and you know, solid young team. But the way that they have just taken that one spot from 10th, you can't say really anyone else that's the shocker for me. So yeah.
There's a few, I think, things that, you know, because we talked about the Magic, you know, because they moved up to the 2 seed. We talked about them though with the, you know, the youngness, I guess, if you will, not being able to close down the stretch. It may seem to be the case, but also taking a look at the schedule as well. That's also important to take note of also. But let's get into the play-in tournament, shall we? Let's look first, of course, with the 7 and 8 matchups, 76ers versus Heat on the East, and of course, Pelicans versus Lakers in the West. And then the 9 and 10 on the East side, we got Chicago versus the Hawks, and then on the West, Kings, Golden State. So let's get to the one I find like to be the least interesting first. We'll go to the Bulls versus the Hawks. During the regular season, the Bulls led the series 2-1. Bulls lead the overall series all time 139 to 120. So, Travis, I'm gonna go to you first on this one. Who wins this series or win this game and why?
Well, I think honestly, I would give it to Atlanta. You know, Trae Young is a problem. You know, especially in like those one games, you know, spinoff kind of games. I believe they beat the Bulls last year in the play-in, and I just think that you know, you got Trae Young, you got Murray, you got, you know, 2 guards that the Bulls might not be able to handle. And, you know, like I said, you just never know what happens in a one-game scenario when you get, the two best players essentially are on the same team, I think. And so I think it'll be a close game, but I think Atlanta pulls it out late.
Nat, what do you think?
I think Chicago has this. I think Chicago has a nice rhythm to them when they play. They only lost that game to New York by 1 point, and I just think that a couple missed shots that they usually make. DeMar DeRozan, he just kind of missed that little chippy that he could have had, and he just missed it. But they play really tough. Something that they do. Well, DeRozan, he had 30 points in that game. Kobe White. Kobe White is the most improved player, in my opinion, this season. Goes from 9 points to averaging about 20 points, 19 or 20 points this season. He's clearly a starter. He had 26 points, 4 assists, couple rebounds. Vucevic, had 29 and 11. That's consistency in that Chicago team where you know what you're going to get. And then Caruso comes in with 15 and 8 assists with 5 steals. And Javonte Green comes in at 11 points and 8 rebounds. This team is more consistent to me. We're not talking about the record, but just how they play. It makes more sense. There are times when Trae Young played in what's his name? The guy that plays the 2 on that team.
Murray.
Yes. His name just completely escaped me. But there are times when they play that they don't gel very well together, and you don't know what you're gonna get. It's like the Cracker Jack box. You just don't know what's gonna happen. And I just think that the Bulls have enough to pull that out. So I'm confident that the Bulls can get this done.
I like it. All right, Jones. So what do you say? Who wins it?
This one's a toss-up. This can go either way. But I'm leaning more towards Chicago, especially the way that they've been looking recently. Like Nat said, they could have beat the Knicks yesterday. They were right in it. Everybody is playing well, with DeRozan doing what he's always done. Caruso, Kobe White, that team is impressive. I'm shocked that their record is what it is. But at the same time, Atlanta could get this one too, because you still got 2 big guys that can play. But I agree with Nat as far as they haven't been playing great together, which is why the season hasn't been looking that great for them. Injury obviously has a part to do with that, but Atlanta hasn't been as consistent as Chicago. So I'm leaning more Chicago in this game.
Bulls lead the regular series 2-1, lead 2-1 on the three-peat. All right, let's keep it 9-10, but let's go to the west side. Talk about the Kings versus the Warriors. Series was split this year, 2-2. Warriors lead the overall series 217 to 195. Nat, let's go to you on this one. Who wins it and why?
Golden State's going to win this game. I don't think that Sacramento has enough. There's no Malik Monk. Malik Monk is a huge part of their identity. You can't go to him and depend on that scoring. He's a guy that he can at least get you 15 points. So that at least 15 points guy is not on your bench. I don't see how they do it unless, De'Aaron Fox goes for 40, and Sabonis absolutely has to score. Murray hits all of his shots pretty much. Harrison Barnes, wakes up, but they also don't have Herter. Like some guys have stepped up, but, in these kind of do or die games, you kind of got to go with the vets in this one. And I just find it hard to believe that we're not going to see a Golden State versus Lakers for that second game. So I'm going to, keep my pick with Golden State.
Yeah, Travis over there flexing, getting excited. Jones, what do you say? Who wins this one?
I see him.
For me, I'm going with Sacramento. I went with Sacramento last year. They let me down, and I think they're going to have my back this year. I'm going with Sacramento. Everything Nat said was absolutely correct. They don't got their guys. But even still, they've shown a lot of moments where even without those guys that they can still look like that team with Monk and those guys. But like she said, all those guys are going to have to play well. But you can say the same thing about Golden State. Everybody's going to have to play well in order for them to win. It's not just going to have to be Steph. Steph's going to have to want to have I mean, to beat them last year, they had to have a 50-point game. So everyone's most likely going to go with Warriors, and I don't blame them. But I think the Kings want some get back, so I'm going with the Kings on this one.
All right, I like it. Travis, who the Lakers playing?
Well, I mean, I really think that, you know, I don't necessarily want the Kings to win. I think Golden State wins, like Nat said, because of Monk. Monk is a huge part. Not only they lost Monk, they lost their starting shooting guard too. So I can't think of his name, like Hauser or something like that.
Herder.
Yeah, Herder. So like you can't just miss dang near 25 points between the two of them and beat Golden State. Now, Steph did have to have 50 last game, and I think that's what Herculean effort the point guard, Fox would have to do to beat Golden State. I think Golden State wins just off moxie, and then they lose to the Lakers, and the Lakers go to OKC.
We ain't there yet. We ain't there yet, bro. Come on, man. Come on.
But yeah, just put that out there.
I'm gonna tell you when we get to that segment why he says that.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn. We gotta build up. You gotta get the audience build up. You know what I'm saying? The crescendo. All right, let's go to the East. With the Miami Heat going against those Philadelphia 76ers. Regular season series split 2-2. Heat lead overall series 71-67. My man Jones, what do you think? Heat 76ers.
I know you're down there in Miami and you're loving your Miami Heat team, but this ain't the year that Jimmy goes off. They're sending him home. I'm sorry. I'm going with the big mother.
I like it. It's fair. I mean, they're looking strong with Embiid back in the lineup. Travis, what do you think?
Yeah, like I said, it's the same. I think Joel Embiid is just, if he's healthy, Sixers win. It's just not even now. I don't know how healthy he is. They sat him out the last game of the season. So if he's healthy, they win, period. It's not even with him and Maxey playing the way they play. I don't think Miami has a chance. If he's not healthy, Miami has a chance.
All right. I like it. Nat, what do you think?
Philly is going to win this game. And Embiid is healthy. They're just doing some injury management on him, but he's ready to go. They knew that they were going to be in this position, for the play-in, rested him, then they're going to, get that 7 seed, and go against New York. But when it comes to Philly, before Joel Embiid got injured, they were on pace to be the 2 seed, and they were playing phenomenal basketball. He was clearly the MVP, actually. It was clear. And then he got injured. They fell off. That's the only reason why Philly is in the position that they're in. But that team is much better than last year. Much better pieces, much better role players. Miami just does not have it. That switch has not clicked on. Jimmy does not look that great, and they're going to need other guys in order to help Jimmy, help Jimmy out, which is usually what happens. But it's not going to happen this year. So I think that Boston's going to play Miami, and Miami is bye-bye.
See, once again, now y'all ruined my next segue. I was about to call out. All right, so this is our 8 seed matchups right now. Travis got Heat Hawks, Nat got Heat Bulls, and Jones got Heat Bulls. So Jones, I'll go to you. Nat's already said Heat. Do you think Heat or Bulls for you?
Heat Bulls. I'm going with the Heat on that one.
All right, so now we get the Heat and the AC. Travis, what do you say with your Heat versus Hawks?
I got the Heat, just because I don't think they would lose 2 games in a row in the play-in. This is like deja vu in a way. Would it be something if Miami beat Boston?
I know, especially Nat talking all the smack right now. God, man, it'd be so funny. It's that ghost of Christmas past smacking right in the mouth.
Let it go. This team, they don't look good, and y'all know that.
Okay, I remember. Now I remember being on this show before, and I remember you talking the same smack. And I remember this. I do. And I came on. I didn't gloat too much, but you know.
Well,
All right, let's go to the West. And really, Travis supposed to start this one, but I don't even know. Waste my time because I already know what he's gonna say. But anyway, the regular season, Lakers lead the series 3-1. They lead the overall series 47-28. Travis, you're up first. Who wins it?
Tell the truth, Travis.
Honestly, this one is a complicated answer. Because if they win, they would have to play Denver first, right? In the first round. Now, if they lose and they beat Golden State, they would play OKC. Now, I want them to go far in the playoffs, but look, sometimes you got to stand up to the bully, punch him in the mouth.
Let's
win, and they go Denver first round. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Let's get it, baby. Buster Douglas. People thought Buster Douglas couldn't beat Mike Tyson, so here we go.
So we think the Pelicans will pull this off.
No, I mean, I would want them to pull it off.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah,
okay,
I would want them to pull it off, to be honest.
We'll make sure we're clear going forward. All right, now what do you think? Who wins this?
The Lakers are going to lose this game on purpose. You're going to see some atrocious shooting on purpose. You're going to start trying to figure out what the hell happened in 48 hours. That's because they're throwing this game. They do not want to see Denver that first round. They have got to get past that first round. You know, they don't want to see them. They need to see them in the third round, so second round, however the seeding goes this time. I think that New Orleans gets this done because of strategy with the Lakers. They'd much rather play OKC because OKC, young and thin. So, yeah, that's how I see it.
Ooh, I can't even believe I'm hearing this right now. Jones, what do you think? Who wins this one?
So, I got to say, this morning I made a post. And pretty much I said everything that Nat said, that the Lakers need to fuck this game up and avoid the Nuggets the first round. But as time went on and I'm starting to see other people's takes and things like that, I'm with you, Trav. We ain't scared of nobody. Let's go with the Nuggets first round. Let's go. We ain't scared.
You gotta see them. You don't have to see them, man.
Gotta go skip. Yeah, let's go get it, man. Come on.
All right, so let's just say that scenario played out. Pelicans win. You think, just real quickly around the room, you think Lakers got enough to beat the Warriors then, right?
Yes.
If the Lakers win this game tomorrow, then they.
No, I'm saying if the Pelicans won, right?
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, it would be the Warriors or yeah.
Yeah. So you pick Kings to move on.
Kings, yeah.
So just in that scenario, you think Lakers got enough to beat the Warriors?
Yes.
Okay. And same for the Kings. I take it. For all of you.
Yes, absolutely. But the Kings would definitely give us problems, though, because they have given us
Kings
problems.
Is the worst matchup. They're a way worse matchup.
They've given us problems. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, what's your thoughts?
I mean, AD can't beat Sabonis. That's why they don't want to see the Kings, and they know this. Like, Sabonis has AD's number. It's just something about like that physicality, of the five, which he struggles with. Let's be real. It just makes it difficult. And then De'Aaron Fox, he goes off too. So for some reason, the Kings make their shots versus the Lakers. This is why they don't want to see the Kings. So I get it. They're begging Golden State to win this game. So I get it.
Travis, as you mentioned that, we had the graphic of Kuno. Travis looks like the kid that was ashamed of what he just done because you just spoke the truth, and he's like, "Oh man, she's so right now." he's showing his shame.
On the real, like she's right when it comes to the Kings are the worst match. It is matchups, man, and so like a Kings in a one-off against the Lakers is because we have nobody who can guard De'Aaron Fox. Nobody.
In a one-off scenario, and as they say in football, of course, any given Sunday, it's the same deal. Especially in the playoffs, matchups are key. So yeah, you're right. Definitely could be danger for your Lakers.
Hey, Trav, we feeling the same way over here in New York. We don't We want New York. We want Philly, but we don't want Philly.
Happy for that 2 seed, though. Happy for that 2 seed, though.
Yeah. I saw.
Right,
I was shocked about it. I didn't think y'all was gonna go for the 2 seed.
All right, well, it's getting close to the shot clock, so time to throw it in the paint. Now we'll go ladies first with you this evening. As always, since you've been back, 60 seconds in the paint. Rant about whatever you like. It starts now.
All right, so we want Miami that first round. So good luck, Miami. We really hope that you guys get it done, whatever way is going to get you to that 8th seed, please. We are praying that you get that 8th seed. Looking forward to seeing New York versus Philly. That is a dogfight because that is a series that actually could go either way, whether you like it or not. It could go either way.
Oh.
You know, Boston, take care of business because that second round, you have such an advantage in that second round, regardless of who wins it, you know, with the Cavs and the Magic. Sorry to say, you know, get it done, you know, and wait for whoever you need to for that third round. I forgot completely about the Bucks. They've been forgettable all season, you know, but I do hope that Giannis is healthy. Please be healthy because this is one of those seasons where a lot of the stars have been healthy. So it would suck if, you know, he's just not up to par. So I really hope his body's okay and that calf heals. But this is going to be a ride. Best playoffs I've seen in years to come with these matchups.
Best playoffs.
It is the matchup.
Your team's #1 seed. All of a sudden, it's the matchup. We ain't even started yet. We don't know what they look like.
You have Phoenix versus Minnesota. You got Dallas versus Clippers.
I mean, it's good. I don't know if we call it the best ever though.
It's gotta be. Come on.
Come on now. There's been a lot of NBA playoffs over the years. I'm just saying.
It ain't been like this.
All right. Well, yeah, your team always ain't been #1 seed. I feel you. All right, Jones. What about you, man? What you think? It's time for you in the paint. Go ahead. 60 seconds begins now.
First, shout out to the NBA. Big week for them. The fact that they had 15 games that actually mattered yesterday was huge for them. So big win for the NBA. Shout out to the Knicks. Shout out to the Lakers, 2 teams I represent going into these playoffs. So shout out to those. And come on, Knicks, get to the conference finals so me and Nat can go at it. Let's go. Let's go. We bringing it. We ain't scared of you, Nat. We want it all.
I know you're not scared of it because you don't know better. You don't know
we
better.
We ain't scared of y'all.
But Jones getting fired up for the playoffs.
I'm fired up. Let's go.
It's that Brunson energy.
Let's go to the real big man in the paint, Travis. Your 60 seconds begins now.
Well, I want to say the NBA should rock and they should rule it for the next couple weeks. The NFL draft is Thursday, so that's going to rule the day for the next couple of days. But I think especially these next, like I said, this next week in the playoffs, it should be big for the NBA. I think that's right. I mean, the NBA this year, especially in the West, was just a logjam between teams. I mean, think about it. Golden State won, was it 47 games or something like that, 46? And the #1 seed won 57. So it's like really, it's really close, I think. And these matchups are sick. Now think about it. Would you ever think that Giannis and Dame would go home in the first round? They could. Mm-hmm. They don't match up well with Indiana, I'm telling you.
Yeah, they don't.
And like the Luka versus the Clippers again, possibly Lakers in Denver in the first round or Lakers in OKC.
Thank you, Travis.
You know what I'm saying? It could be, Boston and Miami rematch, Philly and New York, the Knicks going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I can't wait. I'm excited. Let's go, baby.
Thank you.
Travis, I appreciate that. The one thing I didn't hear you say, though, was best ever. I'm just going to throw that out there. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. You can now hear us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz. So make sure you can tune us in the car as well. So give us a 5-star review or whatever the hell you do on the podcast side. I don't even know. All right. So we appreciate all of you. We'll see you next week. We'll get more in depth. Hopefully Brian will get a little more in depth, and we'll start breaking down the NBA playoffs. We appreciate you guys for following, and we'll see you next week. We are out.
Hey.